Hello, welcome to Brain Spill, the laziest show on the internet. My name is Tank, and my question for you is what makes a good actor? Some people might say that to be a good actor, you have to be good looking. Other people might say that you can remember all your lines after the first reading of a script. But what I think makes a good actor is someone who can portray the role so well that they can effectively suspend disbelief and really make people believe that, yes, you are the person that you're playing as. Many actors have talked about this in the past and gone into detail about how they achieve this. However, it may be very possible that you can act too well. We've heard many stories in the past of how actors manage to prepare themselves for roles and transport themselves into the shoes of a completely different person. One famous example of this has to be Jared Leto when he played the Joker in the film Suicide Squad. Now, although the film wasn't fantastic, I do have to give him credit because he really went above and beyond to try and fully encapsulate himself into the mind of the Joker. And even when the camera wasn't rolling, he was doing some very strange things off set. Many of his strange escapades was not only effectively being the Joker when the cameras weren't rolling, but in addition, he decided to send used condoms and anal beads to his colleagues, which, yeah, I probably wouldn't get paid enough to even accept anything like that if I was working on that film, but here we are. You really have to be a madman to do that. And no, I'm not joking, Google it yourself. As weird as this may be, in the end it's relatively harmless, and if this is what helps actors prepare themselves for certain roles, then fair enough. Kurt Russell is one of those actors who falls into this category and really goes above and beyond in his preparation for a film. What we're going to be looking at today is his portrayal of the grisly bounty hunter in the 2015 Quentin Tarantino film, The Hateful Eight. The idea of the film is basically a bunch of untrusting strangers are trapped in a wood log cabin during a snowstorm, so fun all around for everybody. The film generally had an alright reception and was largely saved by the cast that they had in the film, so overall it went okay. One of the things I like doing when looking into these topics is finding out the juicy and really interesting details about things that happen behind the scenes which people don't normally know unless they dig for it. And this is no exception, as yes, as you saw in the title, I'm going to be talking about the incident that occurred where effectively a guitar that was over 150 years old was destroyed on set. And no, this wasn't a prop by any means, it was an authentic 1870 six-string guitar on loan from the Martin Guitar Museum, so truly a piece of history. I mean, it's pretty cool having authentic items on set just to give you that extra element of realism in your film, and I imagine that's why they decided to get a bunch of old instruments just to portray that. And when the guitars were loaned, I highly doubt that the method acting of Kurt Russell smashing one into the wall was something that they had in mind. The scene plays out where Jennifer Jason Leigh, playing a character called Daisy, is playing a guitar when Kurt Russell's character comes up, snatches the guitar from her, and goes ahead and smashes it against the wall. Now, Kurt Russell had absolutely no idea that these weren't props. He did this off script and probably didn't even realise how old and how vintage these actually were. The original plan for the scene was Jennifer to be playing the guitar, where Kurt Russell would snatch it from her after a jump cut where a prop was put in place instead, and then he would smash it. Nobody told Kurt Russell, however, that this jump cut was meant to happen, and he just went ahead with what he was told. He was told to snatch the guitar and smash it, which wasn't meant to be the case straight away. Apparently, when this happened on set, the film crew let out an audible shock as they had all just realised what had happened, and of course, Kurt was none the wiser. As a matter of fact, this scene actually made it into the movie, and once the guitar is smashed, Jennifer lets out a shocked scream, mainly because she knew that it was an antique and had just realised what Kurt Russell had done. So, her shock, confusion and anger is probably quite justified after witnessing a guitar worth $40,000 get smashed into smithereens. She was nominated, however, for Best Supporting Actress in the Oscars, so I suppose that added to the realism. Jennifer Leigh told Billboard, "I thought we were going to trade out the guitars. You're never going to cut a scene until Quentin says cut, and Kurt thought it must be a dummy guitar. I don't think Quentin knew that it was either. The scene was going exactly the way he wanted it to go, and he wanted to play one scene in the movie in real time without a cut, in one take." Kurt felt terrible. He had no idea. When he found out, his eyes literally welled up. It ended up being a great scene, but very sad for the guitar, and for my guitar teacher, and for me. She actually had very good reason to mourn the passing of this guitar, mainly because this is the one that she was told to practice with in order to prepare for her playing the guitar in the film. And yes, she'd spent quite a bit of time with it. Quite a bit of time before it is now in 1,000 pieces on the floor. I was heartbroken about the guitar because I was quite in love with it. I got to actually take it home with me and I played it every day. It had the most beautiful, warm tone. I had asked how much it had cost and I was told about $4,000. So I was kind of saving up my forced call money, thinking at the end of this movie, I'm gonna buy that baby. And it's gonna be my memento that I'd give myself. I got a few zeros wrong. It was a $40,000 guitar. And it was also a museum piece, so I never would have been able to buy it. But Kurt knew how much I loved that guitar. Then Quentin gave me another Martin guitar from the 1880s as my wrap present, which was kind of extraordinary. Oh, I would have felt so bad if that was me that did that. As soon as I smashed that guitar and somebody told me, I probably would have just left for the day and not come back and thought about what I'd done. And also costing the set probably about $40,000 in a single take. Jennifer was not the one most upset about all of this, however, because the guitar was on loan from the Martin Guitar Museum, and when they found out what happened, they were pretty pissed off, and they commented on the following. "We were informed that it was an accident on set. We assumed that scaffolding or something fell on it. We understand that things happen, but at the same time, we can't take this lightly. All this about the guitar being smashed being written into the script and that somebody just didn't tell the actor, this is all new information to us. We didn't know anything about the script, or that Kurt Russell not being told that it was a priceless, irreplaceable artifact from the Martin Museum. We've been remunerated for the insurance value, but it's not about the money. It's about the preservation of American musical history and heritage. Due to the guitar being, well, irreplaceable, they requested that it was returned as soon as possible to see if the museum could do anything to restore it. Unfortunately, when they got it back, they soon found out that it was beyond repair. The scene did make it into the movie, so if you want to see how hard he smashed it, well, be my guest. And yes, you can also see the shock and surprise in Jennifer's face when she witnesses a guitar which is 150 years old getting smashed into the wall. I would show the clip here, but you know, with YouTube, copyright, you know the drill by now. Safe to say that the Martin Guitar Museum decided not to loan any more of their guitars after this incident, and probably for good reason, because if they can't tell an actor when to and not to smash an instrument, who knows what else they'll smash in the future, I guess. Despite this, not everybody was upset about what had happened. In fact, one of the sound mixers for the film commented on the following. Tarantino was in the corner of the room, with a funny curl on his lips, because he got something out of it with the performance. Now, what you do have to be aware of is the guitar was insured for about $40,000, but the true value of this guitar was probably nowhere near that. Just as an example, a guitar from the 1930s sold for upwards of $500,000 in 2009. This was also a Martin Guitar Company guitar, so it's probably going to be a very similar value. Honestly, what a mixed range of emotions. I mean, I have smashed a guitar in the past and it is fun as hell to do, but when you realise the price of doing it on a guitar like this, it's probably not quite as fun, mainly because you've smashed a piece of history. I mean, personally, I don't even know why they had the antiques on set in the first place. I mean, I said earlier that it's pretty cool, but if the risk is that high that something like that could happen, especially if it was written in the script that it was going to get destroyed, you'd probably think that maybe just for safety, they probably won't use a real guitar in the scene where it's going to get destroyed, and maybe just go with a prop instead. I mean, the reality of people realising it's not an antique 1800s guitar is slim to none. To be honest with you, the museum isn't completely blame-free, mainly because they thought it would be a grand idea to loan a guitar out to a director who has made films in the past such as Kill Bill, Reservoir Dogs, and Pulp Fiction, so they probably should have known what they were going to get themselves in for. So everybody involved learned a valuable lesson. Don't give Quentin Tarantino an antique guitar, and maybe not give it to Kurt Russell either. If you liked the video, be sure to like and subscribe. If you want to be notified as soon as I upload my next video, be sure to hit the bell button. And if you've got any ideas as to what videos you'd like me to discuss next, let me know down in the comments below. As always, sources used in the video will be in the description. Right, well I'm going to go take that guitar over there and smash it into a wall because it just sounds like the new in thing to do. I'll see you guys in the next video. Fantastic.